Hello students, today we start the new lesson number 7 lenses. First of all, we recall some questions. Two questions given for us. What is the first question? Indicate the following terms related to spherical mirrors in figure 7.1. Here 7.1 figure is given. So we indicate these parts: pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature and principal focus. Second question, how are concave and convex mirror constructed? So we revise the answer of these two questions on one separate paper. See here. So we are indicate that parts: center of curvature, then center of the mirror is called as a pole, so pole is at this place. The distance between the center of curvature and pole is called as the radius of curvature. Exactly at the half distance of radius of curvature, there is a focus that is indicated as a capital F. And the imaginary line passing through the center and pole of the mirror is called as what? Principal axis. So this concept already we learn in standard 9. Second question given here. How are concave and convex mirror constructed? So first one, concave mirror is formed when a hollow glass sphere is cut into parts and the outer surface of the cut part is painted, causing the inner surface to work as the reflecting surface. Means outer surface is a coating with shiny material such as mercury or silver. So inner surface is act as a reflecting surface then to form a concave mirror. Exactly opposite in case of convex mirror. Convex mirror is a form when a hollow glass sphere is cut into parts and the inner surface of the cut part is painted, causing outer surface to work as the reflecting surface. Means outer surface is a coating with shiny material such as again silver or mercury, etc. Then outer surface is act as a reflecting surface to form a convex mirror. So already we learned these concepts in detail in standard 9. So come back to our main point. In 10th standard we learn about the lenses. You must have seen lenses used in day-to-day life. For example, where we use the lenses, check that. First one, lenses are used by old persons for reading. Lens embedded in front door of the house. The lens which the watchmaker attached to his eyes at the time of repairing watches. Lenses are used in spectacles. They are also used in telescope. So these points already we learn in previous standard. So next point. So what is meant by lens? Define lens. Mark the definition here. A transparent medium bound by two surfaces is called as a lens. The lens which has two types. The lens which has two spherical surfaces which are puffed up outward is called convex or double convex lens. This lens is thicker near the center as compared to the edges. The lens, next one, the lens with both surfaces spherical on the inside is called as a concave or double concave lens. This is second type of lens. This lens is a thinner at the center as compared to its edges. So here question is asked, distinguish between concave lens and convex lens. So try to write down the points. In the figure given here, both these surfaces is bulging outward. So it is a convex lens, या biconvex lens, या double convex lens. Check here, labels are given. One side is a plane and second one is a convex, so that is called as a plano-convex. One side is a concave and one side is a convex, so that is called as a, label is given here. Now see what is the label given. That is called as positive meniscus. Second type of lens is biconcave lens. Both the sides are puff inward direction, so it is a double concave lens. One side is a plane and second one is a concave, so plano concave lens. And one side is a convex and one side is a concave, so that is called as a negative meniscus. So in this way, these are the main and subtypes are given here. See there. Different types of lenses are shown in this figure 7.2. A ray of light get refracted twice while passing through a lens. Once while entering the lens and once while emerging from the lens. That we learn in previous lesson also. Refraction of light. The direction of the ray changes because of this refraction. Both the surfaces of the most lenses are parts of a sphere. Now next concept we learn here. Now see that. Figures are given. So both the surfaces of lenses are the two parts of the sphere in case of any type, concave or convex. Cross section of convex and concave lenses are shown in that figure. The cross section of convex and concave lenses are shown in parts A and B of figure 7.3. Is a part figure A and figure B. The surface marked as 1 is part of sphere S1, while surface 2 is a part of sphere S2. S1 sphere and S2 sphere in both the sides are mentioning. Clear? S1, S2, here also S1, S2. So in case of lenses, both the parts are the two sections of the sphere. Next point. Now some related terms, basic terms related to the lenses. Now first point. Define the following terms. Center of curvature. So you mark the definition. Center of curvature indicated as capital C. Definition. The center of sphere whose parts form surfaces of the lenses are called centers of curvature of the lenses. A lens with both surfaces spherical, so has two centers of curvature C1 and C2. Check here. Next definition, radius of curvature. The radii indicated as R1 and R2 of the sphere whose parts form surfaces of the lenses are called as what? Radii of curvature of the lenses. Third point, principal axis. The imaginary line passing through both the centers of curvature is called as what? Principal axis of the lens. Fourth definition, fourth point is given here. Optical center indicated as O. The point inside a lens on the principal axis through which light rays pass without changing their path is called as optical center of a lens. That is shown in the figure with explanation. So it is indicated as what? Letter O. O means optical center of the lens. Next, principal focus. So mark the definition. When light rays parallel to the principal axis are incident on a convex lens, they converge, means come close together. They converge to a point on the principal axis. This point is called as principal focus of convex lens. That is shown in the figure 7.5a. F1 and F2 are the two principal foci of convex lens. Check this figure 7.5a. Where is 7.5a? Here. This one. All the incident rays are parallel, passing through the convex lens. What happened after that? Refraction takes place and all these parallel incident ray refracted in a different direction and they are converged at a single point. This point is called as principal focus of convex lens. Next definition is given here. Define converging lens. So mark the definition from here. Light rays parallel to the principal axis falling on a convex lens come together, that is get focus at a point on the principal axis. So this type of lens is called as converging lens. So convex lens is called as converging lens. Remember. Next definition, that is a principal focus of concave lens. So mark the definition from here. Rays traveling parallel to the principal axis of a concave lens diverge after refraction in such a way that they appear to be coming out of a point on the principal axis. This point is called as principal focus of concave lens, shown in the 7.5b. F1 and F2 are the principal foci of concave lens. Check there. So this is a concave lens. This blue color lines means nothing but incident ray parallel to the principal axis. What happened after refraction? So they are diverged from each other like this. They are never come close to each other. They are diverged from each other. They are move away from each other. So we are extending in a backward direction. So what happened? They are appear to meet at a single point. That point is called as principal focus of what? Concave lens. So on both the side, two focus points are there in both the lenses. Next definition, define diverging lens. Mark the definition. Light rays parallel to the principal axis falling on a concave lens go away from each other, go away from one another, that is called as diverge after refraction. So this type of lens is called as what? Diverging lens. In short, what? Concave lens is called as diverging lens. Last definition, define focal length, indicated as a small letter f. The distance between the optical center and principal focus of a lens is called its focal length. So these are the basic terms related to the lenses. Now try this. Some material given for us like a convex lens, screen, meter scale, stand for the lens, etc. What is the method given? Keeping the screen fixed, obtain a clear image of a distant object like a tree or a building with the help of lens on the screen. Measure the distance between the screen and the lens with the help of meter scale. Now turn the other side of the lens towards the screen. Again obtain a clear image of the distant object Distant object means the object very far from us on the screen by moving the lenses forward or backward and measure the distance between the screen and lens again. So answer of this question we learn on one separate paper. Here also little explanation is given, but we first of all check on one separate paper. So this is our activity. Some questions given for us on the next page number 82. So what is that first one? Check that. First question given for us, what is this distance between the lens and the screen called? So answer of that question is the rays incident on a convex lens from a distant object always converge at its principal focus. Hence, the distance between the lens and the screen is called as what? The distance is called as focal length. Second question given, discuss relation between this distance and the radius of curvature of the lens with your teacher. So answer of this question, the focal length and radius of curvature of the lens are related with each other by lens maker equation given by. So 1 upon small f is equal to n minus 1 into 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Where, what is the meaning of that terms? N means nothing but refractive index of material of the lens. Small f means focal length of the lens. R1, R2 means radii of curvature of the two surfaces of the lens. With the help of this formula, we find out the answer. Third question given us, what will happen if you use instead of use a concave lens in this experiment instead of convex. A concave lens is called as diverging lens in nature, that we learned in the previous point. Hence, it always form a virtual image. You know the meaning of virtual image? Virtual image means that image is not obtained on a screen, means not real, of the object. Therefore, if a concave lens is used in above experiment, we will not be able to obtain any image on the screen. So these are the answers of that activity. Come back to our page number 82. Here. So in that first paragraph, see that what is that questions are given. Already we learned the answers of that question. Next point. Raise ray diagram for refraction. Now you have learned the rules for drawing ray diagrams for spherical mirror. In 9th standard also we learned the spherical mirror. At that time also we learned the 3 rules. Similarly, one can obtain the images formed by lenses with the help of ray diagram. One can obtain the position, size and nature of the images with the help of these diagrams. So your question is asked, define what is a ray diagram. So try to find out the answer from previous standard textbook. Here 3 mark question asked on the next topic. Images formed by convex lens. So what are the rules used to draw the ray diagrams of images obtained by convex lens? Question is here. What are the rules used? 3 rules used to draw the ray diagram of images obtained by convex lenses. So diagram with rule is given here. What is the first rule? Rule number 1. When incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, so what happened after refraction? When the incident ray parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray passes through the principal focus. Check that first figure. Second rule, check here. Second rule, when the incident ray passes through the principal focus, the principal focus is here up to the lens. What happened after refraction? The refracted ray is parallel to the principal axis. Check here. This is the second rule. And what happened in third one? Check. When incident ray passes through the optical center of the lens, this optical center O means optical center of the lens, it passes without changing the direction, means passes in a straight line. No any deviation takes place. So in this way, these are the three rules used to draw the ray diagram by using a convex lens. Now material and try this activity is given here. So this experiment already given in our science journal. So we perform this experiment in our regular school. When our school is reopened, then we perform this experiment with the help of convex lens. In the figure we observe that candle is shown here convex lens. So what happened? So above side goes down and below side of the flame goes up like this according to the rule, and here inverted image is formed. Inverted image is always a real image. That concept we learn in case of spherical mirror in standard 9. So can you recall what is given? What are real and virtual images? How will you find out whether an image is real or virtual? Can a virtual image be obtained on a screen? So answers of these questions we learn on one separate paper. Check that. So can you recall question given on page number 82? Questions are given here. So first one, the real image can be observed on screen, whereas a virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. Hence, one can find out whether the image is real or virtual by observing the screen. Means image is formed on the screen, so obviously it is a real image. Image is not formed on the screen, so confirm it is not real, means virtual image. Answer of this, can you recall question given here. Come back to our page number 83 in our textbook. As shown in the figure 7.7, an object, check here, an object AB, side by side you see in the figure also, object AB is mentioning here, is a place beyond 2f1. Here 2f1 point is given, so object is beyond 2f1. The incident ray BC starting from point B and going parallel to the principal axis. Check here. Starting from point B, going parallel to the principal axis, now goes through the principal focus F2 after refraction along the CT direction. So after refraction, what happened? This incident ray BC passing in the direction CT, that is shown in the figure. You show always shows the arrow on these rays. The ray BO starting from point B and passing through the optical center O of the lens goes along OS. BO is the incident ray, so it is passing through optical center, so no deviation takes place. It is passes in the direction OS. Both the rays are converge to each other, intersect to each other, and image is a form here. So when object is beyond 2f1, so where is the image form? Image form between f2 and 2f2. Check that. It intersects CT at point B. This means that the image of B is formed at that point B dash. It is A dash and B dash. So it is an image is formed on the right hand side. As A is situated on the principal axis, its image will also be located along the principal axis at A dash, vertically above B dash. Thus, A dash B dash will be the image. This A dash B dash is the image form after refraction. Will be the image of, whose image is this? Object AB formed by the lens. So, we learn that if the object is placed beyond 2f1, the image is formed between f2 and 2f2. So, it is a real and inverted image. Compare the size. We are observing the size of that image is smaller than that of the object. So, observe the next one. Study this figure 7.8. Determine the position, size and nature of the image form for different positions of an object with the help of ray diagram. Check your conclusion and observation in the previous activity with those given in the table. So observe the diagram carefully and we are write the answers of the given question. What is the position, size and nature of image? When incident ray is first incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, it is passing through, after refraction it is passing through the second principal focus on the other side. Show the arrows on these rays. And second ray of light passing to the optical center, no deviation takes place. What do you observe? Both these rays divert from each other, so we are extending in a backward direction with the dotted line. So they are appear to meet at a single point, means it is not really converge to each other. We are extend in a backward direction, then they are appear to like a converge to each other, and that's why image is formed. This image is not the real, it is a virtual image. Virtual image is erect image. So position is where? On the same side. Size, enlarge or bigger in size. And nature, what is the nature? It is the virtual image. So below, in that below table, we are learning detail. Now images formed by convex lenses for different position of the object. 6 different position of the objects are given. First one at infinity, beyond 2f1, at 2f1, between f1 and 2f1, at focus f1, between f1 and O. So position of image is given, size of the image is given, and nature of the image is also given. So we learn these 6 images on one separate paper. So you do the proper practice of all these. Now see the first one. What is the first given? At infinity. When object at infinity, so all incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, they are appear to meet at a single point. So our image is formed at a single point. So nature of this really all the refracted ray converge to each other. That's why nature of the image is real and inverted, and size of the image is highly diminished. Diminished means very small in size, like a point size. Clear all of you? Next, second position, the position of the object is at beyond to f1. Now check that. So, and one more point is, remember here, that is the position of the image when object is at infinity in first case. Where is the image form? Position of the image is at second focus point, that is f2. Now in second, when object beyond to f1, now see that. So first of all, you take a one line in your notebook as a principal axis. Draw with the help of pencil. Now take one point on the line, that is a optical center O. From this optical center O at 3 centimeter, you take the 2 points on both the sides. On the right hand side at 3 centimeter f2, again from f2 to f1 at up to 3 centimeter, that is plot the 2 f2 point. On the left hand side again up to 3 centimeter f1, and from f1 again 3 centimeter distance you measured with the help of scale and plot the point to f1. Then from the to f1, draw one line here like this, 3 lines above, 3 lines below, and from the point to f1 and up to this point, take this distance in your compass and draw the arc. Same from 2 f2, take this distance in your compass and draw the arc. Your lens is ready. And then afterward, by using the rules, start to draw the diagram. First, incident ray is parallel to principal axis. After refraction, it is always passing through the focus. And second, directly passing through the optical center, so no deviation takes place. Very easy. Always shows the arrows on these light rays, otherwise you lose your half mark. So your object A, B, what happened? Check that. So our image is inverted here, B dash A dash. Our image is inverted, image is formed. So what is the explanation given? When object is beyond to f1, where is the image form? Image form between f2 and 2f2. It is an inverted and real image, and as compared to the size of the object, it is smaller in size, means diminish. Third one, object at 2f1. So image is also formed at 2f2, really converging of all the refracted rays. So image is real and inverted and same size. Now check there. Observe the figure. Object is at 2f1, image is formed at 2f2. So same size of the image form. Incident ray parallel, refraction takes place through f2 on the other side, and when incident ray is passing through the optical center, so no deviation. So it is a very simple to do the practice of these all ray diagrams as per the basic rule explained here. Next one, when object between f1 and 2f1, so image is formed beyond 2f2. So image, nature of the image is real inverted, and as compared to size of the object, image is larger in size, so called as enlarged. Check there. When object between f2f1 and f1, then parallel incident ray passing through the focus, and second passing through the optical center. So our image is formed this beyond 2f2. It is clearly observed here. Image is larger in size as compared to object. So you give the label here for the object like A, B, and here B dash A dash. Next one, when object at focus f1, so our image is formed at infinity, exactly opposite diagram of the first one. Nature is real inverted and highly enlarged image. Check there. What is in first? When object is at infinity, when object is at infinity, so where is the image form? Check. Object as infinity, so image is formed at f2, and exactly opposite to this, when object at f1, so image is formed at infinity, means both the refracted ray parallel goes up to the infinity point. Last diagram, when object between focus f1 and optical center O, so in this case the image is formed on the same side of the lens as the object. So in this case, not real image is formed, virtual image, virtual means not real, and erect image means not inverted, and as compared to size of the object it is enlarged. This is the object and this is the image. Object is also on the left hand side, image is also on the left hand side, so it is not the real one, it is the virtual. It is not inverted, it is the, suppose we are giving the label like this, A B, so here A dash B dash, not inverted image is formed, so it is a large in size, that's why giving the label here enlarged. So in this way these are the 6 ray diagrams formed by using the convex lens. Next one, page number 83. Come back to our textbook, page number 83. Here 2 points are given again. Now images formed by concave lens. We can obtain the images obtained by concave lenses using the following rules. So already we learned the 3 rules. What is the first rule mentioning here? When the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, the refracted ray, when extended backwards, passing through the focus. And second one, when the incident ray passes through the focus, the refracted ray is parallel to the principal axis. So by using these 2 rules, we are learn about the images formed by concave lenses now. See on the next page. So observe these 2 figures and table. So already only 2 types of images are formed. So first one, when object is at infinity in case of a concave lens. So what happened? Object is at infinity. So position of the image is where? At first principal focus f1. Size of the image is a point image, and that image is formed on the same side, and that's why that is the virtual and erect image. So answer, so diagram related to this first point given on textbook page number 81. We are checking this diagram. Check this diagram now. See here. This 7.5b is a concave lens. When object is at infinity, so incident rays are parallel. What happened after refraction? They are diverged from each other. They are never converge, never intersect to each other on that right side. So we are extending in backward direction. So what happened? What do you observe? Both the extended refracted rays appear to converge at one point, that is f1. So image is formed at that point, that is the point size of the image. So this is a diagram of that first point, and second diagram is already given on the same page. See here. What is that second one? Now object anywhere between optical center and infinity. So where is our object? Here. So where is the image? Position of the image is what? Between optical center and f1. It's between these 2 points. So image is formed here. Now what is the size? Observe. Yes, smaller in size. Compare. And it is on which side the object? On the same side image is formed, that is not formed on this side, so it is not the real one, so it is a virtual and erect image. Clear all of you? So try to draw these diagrams in your notebook. Can you recall what is the Cartesian sign convention used for spherical mirror? Now this point we already learn in standard 9. So we learn on one separate paper. Now check that. See here. Sign convention. It is a concave mirror. What is on the left hand side? The direction of the incident rays. It is a y-axis. It is a x-axis. X-axis considered as the principal axis. Now distances on the left hand side consider as a negative. Distances on the right hand side consider as a positive. Distances upward consider as a positive. Distances downward consider as a negative. Now these 6 points are given here. What is the first one? Check that. First point, the object is always kept on the left side of the mirror. Second point, we start here. All distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from the pole of the mirror. So we are changing the number. This 2 means number 3. Third point, it is a 4th point, 5th point and 6th point. Each point carry half mark only in exam. What is the third? All distances measured towards the right of the pole taken to be positive, while those measured towards the left are taken to be negative. Fourth point, distances measured vertically upward from the principal axis are taken to be positive, and distances measured vertically downward from the principal axis are taken to be negative. Next one, the focal length. The focal length of concave mirror is negative, and convex lens, that is related to the mirror. Focal length of concave mirror is negative, while that of convex mirror is positive. So in convex, spelling of convex, x is there, just you turn like this, so it is a looking like a plus sign. Plus sign means convex lens, a convex mirror, focal length of convex mirror is positive. In this way you remember. So this is a recall question given on that paper. Check that. Now next point, sign convention related to what? Spherical, related to the lenses. Now same thing, both the lenses are showing here. It is a convex lens, it is a concave lens. Distance upward consider positive, downward negative. On left hand side, check here. Distance on the left hand side, that is negative, right hand side positive. Same in case of the concave lens or convex lens. Both the diagrams are given. Now check there. So diagram asks for the 2 marks and with explanation. So that 6 points are given there. Check there. That is given on the next page. These are the points. So each point carry how many marks? Only half mark. So total 6 points are there. So you write point wise. According to the Cartesian sign convention, the optical center O is taken to be the origin. The principal axis is the x-axis of the frame of reference. The sign conventions given here. First point, the object always placed on the left hand side. Second point, start from here. All the distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from the optical center. Now change the number. All numbers you change, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. The distances measured to the right of O are taken to be positive, while those measured to the left are taken to be negative. Distances perpendicular to the principal axis and above it consider are taken to be positive, and below it considered to be negative. Focal length of convex lens is a positive, again in convex axis there, slightly turns, so looking like plus sign, and that of concave lens is negative. So these are the points given about the sign conventions. Next, lens formula. What is lens formula? And write down the meaning of the terms. The formula showing the relation between distance of the object u, distance of the object indicated as a letter u, distance of the image indicated by the letter v, and the focal length, that is small f, is called as lens formula. Now that is a definition is given. So what is lens formula? Define lens formula. So answer is given here. Now it is given below. So this, in this box, that formula is given here. 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. U means, v means what? Image distance. U means object distance, the distance of the object, and small f means nothing but the focal length. Now in this box also given, in the lens formula is the same for any spherical lens and any distance of the object from the lens. It is, however, necessary to use the sign convention properly. As per the sign conventions, we are taking the positive or negative sign for the at the time of solving the numerical problems. Next point, what is magnification? Write its formula and meaning of the terms. So magnification. The magnification due to a lens is, so we start our answer from here. The ratio of height of the image to the height of the object is called as magnification of a lens. Therefore, magnification means, what is the ratio? Height of the image divided by height of the object. In short, magnification indicated by the letter capital M is equal to height of the image means h2 divided by height of the object means h1, number 1. One more relation is given. Magnification due to a lens is also related to distance of object u and that of image v from the lens. So magnification is equal to distance of the image divided by distance of the object. Therefore, m is equal to what? V upon u, that is equation number 2. Now use your brain power. From equation 1 and 2, what is the relation between h1, h2, u and v? And one more question given here. This paragraph means second question. So we are checking the answer of these two questions on one separate paper. Check here. So relation between the h1, h2, u and v from the equation 1 and 2 is magnification means nothing but the magnification m is equal to h2 upon h1 as well as magnification equal to v upon u. So h2 upon h1 is equal to v upon u. That is the relation between these four terms. Now in the textbook question given here, what is that question? Take two convex lenses of different sizes, collect sunlight on a paper using one of the lenses. The paper will start burning after a while. Note the time required for the paper to start burning. Repeat the process for the second lens. Is the time required the same in both the cases? And what can you tell from this? So answer is no. Both the lenses will take different time to burn the paper. We can conclude that the capacity of the lens to converge the incident light is different for different lenses, and it depends on the size of the lens. So time is required different because size of the lenses are different, so its power, its time is also required different to start to burn that paper. Come back to the page number again, 85. Next. Next question given. Define power of lens. What is the unit of power of lens, and write its formula. So mark the definition of power of lens first. The capacity of a lens to converge or diverge incident rays is called as what? Power. Its power, yeah, power of lens. The power of lens depends on its focal length. So power is the inverse of its focal length, small f. Small f means, so focal length, it is one type of length. So focal length, SI unit of focal length is meter. The unit of a power, underline, the unit of a power of lens is a diopter. So when power is measured in diopter, when, so 1 upon focal length measured in meter. Remember this. Sometimes what happen in exam, numerical problem, focal length given in centimeter. So student directly substitute that value in the formula and calculate the wrong answer. So what is our first duty? That centimeter value converted into meter, and then afterward we put in the formula, then we are getting the correct answer of power of lens in diopter. So remember this. Next one. What is combination of lenses? If two lenses with focal length f1 and f2 are kept in contact with each other, the combination has an effective focal length given by. So what is that formula given? So 1 upon f is equal to, that is a combination of the two lenses. So 1 upon f, it is effective focal length, that is also called effective, means that is nothing but the total focal length of both the lenses. So 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. What is here? 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. But 1 upon f means nothing but power. Therefore, total power of the lens, both the lenses, if P is equal to what? 1 upon f1 means P1 plus 1 upon f2 means indicated as a P2. This is one more formula of 10. Remember this relation. All are getting? See in that green box. If the power of the two lenses are P1 and P2, then the effective power of their combination is P is equal to P1 plus P2. Thus, when the two lenses are kept touching each other, the power of the combined lens is equal to what? The sum of their individual powers. That is a clearly understanding from this formula. P is equal to P1 plus P2. Allocating the power of the combined lens is equal to what? The sum of their individual powers. So P means total power of the two lenses is equal to what? P1 plus P2. So these are some formulas related to the lenses. Now two numerical problems are given here that are already solved. So you write the numerical problem in your notebook and try to write down the answer in that pattern given to find formula and solution. I will give the proper answer in that pattern in our assignment. So first of all, you try to find out the answer. Try to write the answer in that pattern in your notebook of these two solved questions. First solved question is here, and second solved question start from here. 2 to 3 mark for these numerical problems depends on how many terms we calculate in the question. So in this way, today we start this lesson number 7, lenses, and some basic terms we learn in detail. So at the last I will showing the questions, assignment questions also. So you take the screenshot of this page. So total 15 questions are there. All these question answers you write in your notebook. After observing the video carefully, try to write down the answer in your notebook. At the time of next science 1 period, I will give the solution of this assignment number 11 also. Thank you.